Hey, I'm Roland Lesland. I'm the game director for Avalanche Studios working on Just Cause 3.
So what were your goals heading into this third installment of this huge franchise?
Well, it's a pretty big deal to be given this franchise. I mean, it's been developed at Avalanche Studios for 13 years now. So, I mean, it is the reason why Avalanche Studios was first created. So that's a pretty big baby to be given right there. And that sort of trust was pretty amazing when I came on board, and we really wanted to take this game and use the next-gen power to amp up the destruction, get that fluid motion, the ability to move through the world, and of course adding things like the wingsuit and better vehicles and a bigger new world to go explore.
What did next-gen open up for you guys with this game?
Well, Next Gen itself is all about a little bit more power. There's more GPU and CPU strength, obviously, on it. There's a lot of new share features, which for a game like this, where someone could actually watch you playing the game, it's kind of ideal in that way, because it's actually pretty entertaining just to watch the game, not just play it. And so on top of that, we really used a lot of that power for, you know, the usual stuff from graphics and animation and character and so forth. But we also did an awful lot with destruction.
Let's start by talking a little about the story, what's going on in this world.
Sure. So Rico has come back to Medici to overthrow the dictator, Di Ravello. And so this is a place that he left 20-odd years ago before he went on his adventures to San Espirito and into Panau. And now he's coming back after having all these tools of how to overthrow dictators, return to the place that he grew up as a kid, and overthrow the dictator that sent him off the island to begin with.
So what's the secret to kind of sauce of creating a good bad guy for this kind of environment?
For this one, I wanted to find a bad guy that felt strong, intelligent, felt like a real, more like a Bond villain, you know? There's always that great line that the greatest Bond films are because the great Bond villains. We wanted to try to figure out how do we create a great villain, and when we found the actor to do the voice and the way the villain itself is built up, he is a strategic genius. So he has maneuvered his way up through the military to become this huge dictator, and has managed to hold on to his dictatorship for, you know, 2 decades or more. And not until Rico comes back do you realize that he's been trying to manipulate all the chips, including even Rico, but you can't really manipulate a destructive force like Rico.
Are you guys talking about the voice actors yet?
No, not yet. I think that's going to be held off for later on in the summer.
Talk about destruction. Talk about what are some examples of what you guys are talking about now in upping the ante when it comes to destruction in this game.
So we worked a lot with Havoc, and Havoc is a key piece of how we do our game, a key piece of our engine. Obviously, it's their engine, not they have Havoc, we have our engine, but they fit together. There's a marriage there between the two companies. And what we have is, we wanted to push towards Havoc Destruction. Havoc Destruction allows for things like fracturing, and up until this point, no one's really tried to use it in a huge open world before. So that posed a pretty big challenge, and the tech team rose to the occasion in a beautiful way. So we're able to take down whole bridges, and our destruction objects, the chaos objects that you go destroy, they are actually all physicalized. So they are real objects in the world that you can grapple and tether and pull down and break apart. And that really gives you a unique sense. So no longer is a fuel tank just a fuel tank. It could be something you grapple to the bottom of a chopper and drop it on the rest of the base.
Can you talk about the environments and the world in this game and how what's new there for exploration and destruction?
Sure. So, I mean, we built an entirely new world, and this has been inspired by the Mediterranean. And that means there's a lot of history, so we can have the old ruins that are there that have been there from civilizations past. You know, thousands of years of history have existed in the Mediterranean. And of course, we also push it a little bit. The cliffs are a little taller, the buildings are a little brighter, the water is clearer, you know, all the things that you would kind of dream of as the ideal, like an idyllic Mediterranean experience. And that's what we kind of built in for the experience. Now within it, we have a brand new terrain system that allows us to carve right into the terrain. This means that we can not only create tunnels and that sort of thing, but also giant cave structures, which means we can actually put a base inside a cave system as well. And it makes for some really unique opportunities, especially for a guy like Rico.